right, welcome to the Fruit Haven Nursery. We have mulberry, it's already fruiting in the pot. It grows in this climate too. This is Mysore raspberry. It's starting to give flower fruit buds, I guess. And this here has some fruit.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Alright, so the suitcase that Zainab left for us. Let's see what's inside. There's a lock, but we do not have a key. Zainab, where's the key? Into the Fruit Haven 1 community area. During the daytime, we're here at night. It's very different with the sunlight. Beautiful river. Work station. Hello. The excavator. And going into the nursery. I think that's Giovanni. Is it not some kid? Oh, it is Giovanni. I thought I recognized you. Ooh. Hello! Alright, so this is where we dry the laundry.
That's the darts, yeah, that's the darts that you can make. They use the natives.
Weapons.
Or if you have toothpicks, you can use it as a...
Oh, toothpick, natural toothpick.
Hey, you don't have
Workshop.
a key for the suitcase by any chance?
Ah, yes, I have your suitcase key.
Oh, you do? Oh, amazing.
Alright, welcome to the Fruit Haven Nursery. We have mulberry, it's already fruiting in the pot. It grows in this climate too. This is Mysore raspberry. It's starting to give flower fruit buds, I guess. And this here has some fruit. So this one you want the trellis for. They got little spikes on them, so it's nice for a boundary. You can make your
fence.
Your fence, exactly. And then you have a dual purpose, like it's spiky, nobody can toss through it, and then you have fruit as well. This one is the miracle berry, which makes sour things taste sweet. Spiky palms, which are these ones, the chanta palms.
Okay, they have thinner leaves.
They're also good for if you want like a fence. And they produce a starchy fruit, which is like starchy and oily. It produces usually for a short time, once a year. We have a few papayas. Usually we do papayas directly in the ground, but it's good to get some. We have the peanut butter fruits here. This is ornamental, which attracts hummingbirds. Different kinds of chilies there. So these are the chili roll, and then we have the Surinam Cherry. It's got these red new growths.
Oh, the one in the back. Okay.
Yep, the new growth there.
Oh, cherries.
These are Surinam Cherry, which is a different, I don't think it's necessarily related to the other cherries.
Okay.
I think this is a garlic vine. We don't have too many, so we're trying to reproduce more. This is a basil, which is African perennial blue basil.
Oh, can I try it?
Yep. You can.
Wow.
You can pinch off the leaves, and that way it'll grow bigger. And you can actually use this leaves as well. They're very aromatic.
So pretty.
And what else? A bit of rosemary, just kind of. And then here we have bigger trees where we put them in bigger pots, so they can sometimes stay up to a year, 2 years in a pot and get you a head start. Most of, yeah, these are just ornamental ones. And then this here is mostly big fruit trees. So this is Mangosteen with the big leaves. And then this is Mame Sapote. I think it's attempted that we tried grafting them. So sometimes they fail, some we have to retry. Yeah, there's attempted graft, and this one is a successful one.
Oh, I see, okay.
So this is a pace. Pace is a specific variety of mame, which gives a kind of redder flesh, and it's bigger and it produces more fruit. So there are different qualities to different kinds of varieties. So you'll hear different names. There's like pace mame or choquette avocado, you know, different varieties, cultivars, cultivated varieties. There's the local type of tree grape is called the Amazon tree grape. Asian fruit, which is salak, or known as snake fruit. We have two kinds, mainly the red one and the Bali one. The red one is a bit softer and sweeter. The Bali one is a bit crunchier and more tart. Both are nice. It's also a palm that has spikes, but it's not quite as small as the chanta spikes. And it also stays shorter, where chanta can grow really, really tall, like 20 meters. Here's a nut tree that is a local type of nut. The name we know it by is nalampi, but I think there's some other names, which I don't remember. I don't know. There's aki, which is a African origin, but it's made popular in Jamaica as the national fruit, and it's in the national dish of Jamaica, which is ackee and saltfish. It's a fatty fruit. It's dangerous to eat if it's unripe. It's actually toxic to the point that people have died from eating it unripe. There's Bernaker, is a variety cultivar of black sapote. So this is a black sapote that had a successful graft. This is the graft joint there. Right there, and
like
Bernaker is the variety, gives specifically a bigger fruit, and also when things are grafted they start fruiting early, so it's already giving a fruit. Probably we should not let it produce a fruit at this stage, so just pluck it out, let it focus on growth. It needs to really go in the ground at this point. Choquette, a variety cultivar of avocado.
So many fruits I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's a
Never
more
tried.
round avocado.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we have hundreds of
Wow.
varieties.
So crazy.
Some things are getting a bit sunburned there. That's really sad.
Oh no.
Bigger shade cloth. So these
Yeah,
are
I see it in the back. Needs to be
rambutan,
covered.
I think. Also a local type of palm that is called acho. The locals call it acho. In some other places it's known as aguaje, which is also a fatty fruit. It doesn't need to be cooked, but just put into warm water for about half an hour or something like that. We got meringue and starfruit and jackfruit and noni and let's see what else. Black sapote. We talked about durian. We're getting a order of special kind of trees that are not found locally from another nursery in Quito. It should be coming soon, hopefully. And on that side we have more stuff that's for grafting, so like the rootstock we call it, if we're gonna graft something. So we have the avocados over there and soursop. We could get soursop that's grafted from gualaquiso. Mangosteen, a very nice fruit as well, known as the queen of fruits. There's a local other fatty fruit that's called the nyaku, and that's really cool. These are all, the row here is the local avocado, which is it's okay tasting, but it's adapted to this climate, so the rootstock is stronger. We use them for grafting other varieties onto them. And then Rollinia, which is something that the locals actually call chirimoya, but it's not chirimoya.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of course, you're probably seeing just a bunch of green leaves, and you're like,
I know, they all look the same.
There's quite a bit to understand about. It took me a while, like, so you look more than just the leaf, you look at the growth pattern of how the stem gives off, and this is something distinct, for example, to Rollinia. And there's some other trees that are in the same genus that you will learn, oh, okay, this is Rollinia, and it looks just like the Samcoya, and like they're related because they're in the Annona family, Annonaceae. And then the avocado, actually, the grafted ones will look different than the ones that are local. So this is like the local variety, and yet it looks quite similar to the Inyaku, which is totally different. It's fruit, but you see the new growth looks different, and it grows from the center. So
Yeah, it's like a star.
and this is like further along in the growth. And then they look quite similar to the Mame sapote, but that is totally different family. That's in the Sapotaceae. Now, you also have to remember that sapote is just a generic name for fruit. So, for example, the Mame sapote is not related to the black sapote. They're
Really?
different families.
Oh, I thought it
So
was
they're
the same.
Exactly different, yeah.
okay.
So the black sapote is actually related to persimmon, whereas the Mame sapote, they're related to the egg fruit canistel. It's also sometimes known as yellow sapote. And then there's sapodilla, which is sometimes called chico sapote. Just depends where you are.
So sapote means fruit?
Sapote is like a sweet fruit. So the black sapote's got a bit of a shinier, kind of darker leaves. So here we have the mame. Mangosteen we don't graft because it's unnecessary. They take a long time to grow, and that's how they are from what we researched. They take about 10 years.
Yeah, I think we have one, right, on our property?
Okay, so that's good. You're ahead of the game.
Woo!
Related to cacao, but it's in the same genus. It's Theobroma bicolor. So
Theobroma, okay.
Theobroma, yeah. So there's Theobroma cacao, which is most
okay,
commonly known as cacao, and then we have two other Theobroma varieties here. So there's Theobroma bicolor and Theobroma grandiflorum, which is another called cupuaçu more commonly in Brazil, national fruit of Brazil. So
Oh.
some countries have national fruits. Here on this side we have ice cream bean. You have some on the
Oh,
lot
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Mostly it's used for chop and drop. It's a really tasty fruit as well, but it needs to get bigger for it to fruit. So we tend to mostly use them for chop and drop. We just chop and drop it. So we chop it at a certain height and a certain way depending on what it is, and put it around a fruit tree that we want to mulch. So the mulch is giving fertilizer to the tree that we want, or plant that we want to grow. Three main ones we use is the flamingia, which has this 3-leaf formation. So these are little ones and they're growing. They're a bush size, so they're good to plant in areas that you may forget about or you want to keep small stuff. Ice cream bean, on the other hand, it can get big, so you don't want to plant it if you're going to neglect it. But you do, plan to can maintain the area, then it's good to plant it. You can chop and drop it. Or if you want it for fruit, of course, just make sure there's space around it so it's not close to other trees or houses, structure. You want to distance it from other things at least 6 to 8 meters, depending on what kind of tree. So like durian, you might want to give 10 to 12 meters. Black sapote, I think it can do about 10 meter. Mame sapote, probably like 8 to 10. It depends. Like also when they're grafted, you could probably get away with giving it less space. And you can interplant and have stuff that's quicker fruiting, like bananas, papayas, Surinam Cherry, the peanut butter fruit stuff that is small. You can have that in between. You can grow other stuff, vegetables, temporary things, potatoes or whatever you might want to grow.
If you're gonna grow potatoes, you grow it next to a tree? You climb, does it climb up?
It's an option, I guess, but it's probably better to do it in a kind of garden setting. So we can go and check out the vegetable gardens and see how we do it here.
Yeah.